The top stories tonight in Y News. The Taguig City Jail assures the safety of actor-comedian Bong Navarro once he will be transferred in their facility. The suspended administrator of the National Irrigation Administration asked the help of the Office of the Ombudsman to solve the problem of corruption in the agency. The Office of the Vice President, through its satellite offices, now offers legal assistance and labor aid. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. arrives in Thailand with fellow leaders for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation or APEC Economic Leaders Meeting. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Wednesday, the 16th of November, 2022. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social channels. I am William Theo. First in the news, the Taguig City Jail assures the safety of actor-comedian Bong Navarro once he will be transferred in their facility. Dante Amento tells us why.
Actor Bong Navarro is expected to be transferred to Taguig City Jail, male dormitory in Camp Bagong Diwa. This after a commitment order issued by the court to transfer Navarro from the NBI detention facility in Manila.
He will be transferred. It will just be a matter of time. Hindi po yan result of the resolution on the petition for bail. So yun po ang gusto namin klaruhin. There is still no resolution on the petition for bail. The court can issue an order if the petition for bail will be granted, directing the warden of Taguig City Jail to release Bong under bail.
Attorney Maggie Abraham Garduque, Navarro's legal counsel, says the Taguig City Jail assures the court over the safety and security of Navarro.
There was a motion for reconsideration being filed by the defense, assuring the security and protection of Bong in the event that he will be transferred from NBI to Taguig City Jail.
The NBI, meanwhile, disclosed that Navarro would still undergo medical examination and swab test as part of the requirement of his transfer. Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the suspended administrator of the National Irrigation Administration asked for the help of the Office of the Ombudsman to solve the problem of corruption in the agency. He noted that a syndicate wants to take him out of the office. Ray Pelayo tells us why.
Grave misconduct, conduct prejudicial to the best interests of the service, and oppression are the basis of the Office of the Ombudsman to suspend Administrator Benny Antiporda of the National Irrigation Administration or NIA. This is based on the complaints filed by NIA employees. But Antiporda denied these allegations and said that this matter is connected to the cleansing that he is doing in the agency.
We all know that rampant ang korupsyon sa NIA, no? But it will be very unfair to our colleagues there na talagang nagmamahal naman sa bayan. May ilan-ilan lang naman yan eh. Yun nga lang, itong ilan-ilan na to, talagang organisado na. Isang sindikato na ito. Yang sindikato na yan, yan yung binubuwag natin. No? Kaya nananawagan nga ako sa ombudsman na huwag nating hayaang magharing uri ang sindikato sa NIA.
Antiporda filed cases against those who filed complaints against him earlier than the latter. On the other side of the issue, Antiporda took this on a positive note and asked the ombudsman to help him eradicate corruption in NIA. He said that one of his discovery is that the government will pay more than 200 million pesos to a contractor due to the technicalities even if the project is not yet done.
Ang ganda nga nang nangyari. Ngayon natin na-discover na kaya pala ng ombudsman na ganyang kabilis na aksyon. So siguro, eto dahil 220 million ito, siguro ma-action na ito ngayon at mape-preventive na rin to. Yun po yung pananaw natin dito.
Included in the order of the Office of the Ombudsman as complainants is the NIA Employee Association, but its council denied it. They said that they support the administration of Antiporda until now. Ray Pilayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
A joint meeting was conducted by the House Committees on Justice, National Defense and Security to tackle House Bill number 8, or the bill seeking to provide free legal assistance to uniformed personnel. Several lawmakers say it is important to have free legal assistance available. Eileen Cerudo will tell us why.
There is a possibility that individuals might harass uniformed personnel through legal matters in order to prevent them from doing their duty. According to Tingog Party List Representative Jude Asidre, by providing free legal assistance, the country's men in uniform will be able to perform their duties more effectively without fear of unwarranted arrest filed against them. The Armed Forces of the Philippines also said there are not enough military lawyers that can focus on each cases of AFP personnel.
As against military lawyers, we only have 136 lawyers distributed all over the country, serving one military lawyer as against 1,200 AFP personnel.
During the joint committee hearing, the Philippine National Police also called on lawmakers to include non-uniformed personnel under the PNP. The PNP explains these personnel are also susceptible to harassment and must also be protected. The Department of National Defense expressed hope that under the said bill, the free legal assistance will be given until the conclusion of the case. Meanwhile, the Department of the Interior and local government said there is a need to filter the cases that will receive free legal assistance. According to DILG Undersecretary Juan Victor Llamas, personnel qualified for a free legal assistance should have committed violation in good faith.
We defend only those that are legal in the performance of duties and those are performed in good faith. So there must be some mechanism, Your Honor, to filter first what kind of cases that we are supposed to be supporting.
He further explains that these uniformed personnel did not violate laws due to abuse of power. Lawmakers will continue discussing the House Bill number 8 in the plenary. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for our news abroad, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has arrived in Thailand with fellow leaders for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, or APEC Economic Leaders Meeting from November 16 to 19. Kath Dumaraos will give us the details live. Yes, Kath?
Yes, Marielle. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has arrived here in Thailand at around 5:30 in the evening Bangkok time or 6:30 p.m. Philippine time. President of Vietnam Nguyen Xuan Phuc and his spouse was greeted by Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha earlier today at the Army Airport, followed by Papua New Guinea's Prime Minister Jammeh Marape and his spouse. As of the moment, there are no other leaders expected to arrive today. Meetings of the APEC leaders will kick off on Friday after the gala dinner at the Royal Thai Navy Conference Hall tomorrow evening. Meanwhile, various booths and activities are being held here in the Media Center to promote the theme of the 29th APEC Summit, Open, Connect, Balance. Marielle?
Thank you, Kath Dumaraos, reporting live from Thailand. Google is set to pay $597 million to resolve charges made by 40 U.S. states for unlawfully monitoring the locations of its users. State attorneys general opened an investigation in 2018 after learning that Google collects location data despite contrasting instructions from users. The Iowa Attorney General's office says that on top of paying $391.5 million, Google must be more open with customers on when location monitoring occurs and provide them with complete information about location tracking data on a dedicated webpage. Additionally, a blog post posted on Monday by Google stated that the company would be upgrading in the upcoming months to allow for even better controls and transparency over location data, including a simpler method to delete location data where new users will have access to auto-deletion features let them ask Google to delete certain data when it reaches a certain age. The world's population has reached 8 billion people, and the United Nations or UN warns that this poses a great risk for our future. May Van Dog explains why live. Yes, May?
Mariel, the United Nations or UN explains that more hardship is in store for regions across the world that are already facing shortages in resources because of their vulnerability to climate change. Some of the world's poorest countries, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, have millions of people who are currently living without enough food supplies. Yet population in these countries is expected to further jump due to their higher fertility rates. Sustained high fertility and rapid population growth, as UN explains, for example, may present challenges to sustainable development in a way that educating growing numbers of children and young people could draw resources from improving the quality of education itself. Overconsumption of resources by wealthy people that produce carbon emissions is another factor that drives the climate crisis. UN projections also show that there will be less of food, water, batteries, and gasoline to go around by the 2080s, where an additional 2.4 billion is projected to be added to the population. The world's population could grow up to 8.5 billion in 2030, 9.7 billion in 2050, and will reach the peak at about 10.4 billion in 2080, before it remains at that level until 2100. More than half of the projected increase up to 2050, according to the UN, will be concentrated in 8 countries: the Democratic Republic of Congo, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Philippines, and the United Republic of Tanzania. On a positive note, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres highlights that this milestone is an occasion to celebrate diversity and consider humanity's shared responsibility for the planet. Marielle?
Thank you, May Van Dog, reporting live from Australia. We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, William.
Yes, thank you, Marielle. The House Committee on Information and Communications Technology led the discussion on House Bill number 4659, or the Public Telecommunications Policy Act. Under the said bill, telecommunication firms and internet service providers will be compelled to provide automatic refund to customers after a service outage and disruptions. Eileen Cerudo will tell us why.
Internet service providers should provide the best services to subscribers, according to Navota's Representative Toby Tiangco. The lawmaker filed House Bill number 4659, or the Public Telecommunications Policy Act. Under the said House bill, customers who experienced service outage or disruption for an aggregate period of 24 hours or more within a month are entitled to an automatic refund.
We have a lot of complaints regarding internet services and the outages or the interruptions of internet services. Nowadays, it's very important and it's very difficult to work and to do homeworks without internet services.
However, the law clarifies that an automatic refund will not be valid if the service outages and interruptions are due to acts of God such as typhoons and earthquakes, or acts of man such as robbery, strikes, or war. Globe Telecom supports the said House bill, saying it is the duty of service providers. However, the company asked whether prepaid services will also be included.
It's fair, actually, but I don't know if we included here prepaid services, which by definition cannot be refunded, because when there's no service, there's no usage as well. We do support the bill,
The bill also seeks to impose penalties on telecommunications services unable to comply with the said measure once enacted into law. Eileen Cerudo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Meanwhile, the Office of the Vice President, through its satellite offices, now offers legal assistance and labor aid in partnership with the Public Attorney's Office and the Department of Labor and Employment. Janice Inhente will tell us why.
Aside from its current services such as burial and medical assistance, the Office of the Vice President extends its services for those in need of legal assistance and job placement through the help of the Public Attorney's Office and Department of Labor and Employment. Vice President Sara Duterte explained that the OVP is focused on peace and entrepreneurship, but some of the concerns that the OVP satellite offices have been receiving are in need of legal advice while others had labor concerns.
Naghanap kami ng mga partners tulad ng DOLE doon sa mga naghahanap ng emergency employments o pangtawid sa panahon na wala silang trabaho, at sa Public Attorney's Office para sa mga naghahanap ng legal advice o legal assistance.
Earlier, OVP, DOLE, and PAO signed an agreement to extend its services and be more accessible for unprivileged Filipinos who are in need of legal assistance and labor aid. Under the agreement, those in need of job placement will be referred to the Labor Department.
Dahil nga po sa maraming nagpupunta sa opisina ng ating mahal na Vice President, siya po ang nag-provide ng mga tao, mga lisahan ng mga nangangailangan ng trabaho, at kami naman po ay magbibigay ng pasahod doon sa mga taong magtatrabaho na binigay ng ating mahal na bisipan ng Pangulo.
Meanwhile, PAO said it will study the actual demand to set the proper deployment of its personnel to the OVP's central and satellite offices.
Pwede kami mag-detail ng assigned duty PAO lawyers sa satellite offices. Kagaya ng ginawa namin ni Secretary Erwin Tulfo sa May ng DSWD. Pwede siguro dalawa. Oo. Pwedeng MWF, TTHS, or daily. Pag-aaralan namin kung ano yung bulk ng pangailangan ng mga satellite offices ng ating mahal na pangalawang Pangulo.
PAO Chief Persida Acosta assured that they have enough personnel to be deployed in OVP satellite offices. Janice Inhente, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Bureau of Immigration has deported additional 17 illegal Chinese nationals to Wuhan, China this afternoon. This is the third batch of illegal gambling-related deportations from October and November 2, with 27 deportees. The Immigration Bureau said the deportees are just part of the 300 Chinese nationals who were arrested in illegal online gambling. After deportation, they will be blacklisted and no longer be allowed to go back in the country.
Two astronauts of the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, kicked off the first in a series of end-of-the-year spacewalks outside of the International Space Station. Annie Mancilia will give us the details live. Yes, Annie, go ahead.
Good evening, Marielle. First-time spacewalkers Josh Cassada and Frank Rubio assembled a mounting bracket on the starboard side of the space station on Tuesday, a venture that lasted 7 hours and 11 minutes. In a video posted by International Space Station, Mr. Cassada is seen wearing a spacesuit with red stripes, while Mr. Rubio wore the unmarked suit. The two astronauts installed these struts for the upcoming rollout of 6 solar arrays called Arosas, which will boost the space station's power generation by more than 30%. This is NASA's first spacewalk since March this year, following an incident wherein an astronaut, Matthias Maurer, ended his first spacewalk with water in his helmet. NASA has updated the operational procedures and developed the hardware to help contain any liquid in the helmet and keep the astronauts safe. 2 more spacewalks are planned to take place on November 28 and December 1, where crews of 2 astronauts will install another pair of solar arrays. Back to you, Marielle.
Thank you, Annie Mancilia, reporting live from Singapore. European members has announced to assist in training Ukraine's armed forces. Paul Gatchalian will tell us why live. Go ahead, Paul.
Marielle, the European Union has just launched a military assistance mission for Ukraine, with member nations facilitating the military training for up to 15,000 military soldiers of Ukraine. This has been announced by Josep Borrell Fontelles, High Representative of the EU for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, saying that this mission will enhance the military capability of the Ukrainian armed forces as they continue to fight against Russia. The military assistance mission is expected to be operational in 3 months and will be supported for 24 months through financial support amounting to $16.5 million through the European Peace Facility. In another news, Marielle, world leaders gathered at the G20 summit held an emergency meeting over a Russian-made missile that hit a rural village in Poland, around 6.4 kilometers west of Ukraine's border, killing 2 people. Jens Stoltenberg, Secretary General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO, chairs the meeting to discuss the explosion and stated that NATO, along with its allies, are closely monitoring the situation, with initial reports indicating that the missile most likely came from an air defense missile from Ukraine. Back to you, Marielle.
Thank you, Paul Gatchalian, for that live report. And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Mariela Toza reporting live from Perth, Australia. Good evening.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources Secretary Maria Antonina Yulo Loizaga has headed the Philippine delegation at the 27th session of the Conference of Parties, or COP27, in Egypt. During the COP27 sidelines, the secretary also met with French President Emmanuel Macron and French Environment Minister Christophe Péchaud. Secretary Loizaga emphasized the support of the country for the One Planet initiative and affirmed willingness to be a part of the partnerships to achieve the goals of this program. She also added that the Philippines is one of the 2 Southeast Asian countries that signed the High Ambition Coalition for Nature and People. The coalition sets an aspiration to protect and conserve at least 30% of the world's land and ocean by means of increased public and private financing to ensure long-term management and local governance and clear implementation mechanisms to nature on a path to recovery by 2030. The Philippine delegation has relayed its high-level participation in the upcoming 2022 UN Biodiversity Conference, or COP15, this December in Montreal, Canada. Together with the Conservation International, World Bank, and Global Environment Fund, the representatives from China, Colombia, Costa Rica, France, Gabon, and the U.S. officials were also present during the said event. PNP closed 3 illegal fireworks factories and arrested 8 individuals in a police operation in Bulacan. Nestor Torres will give us the details live. Yes, Nestor, good evening. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening, William. 3 illegal fireworks factories were closed, while 8 are arrested in the ongoing crackdown of the police against illegal firecrackers in Bulacan.
Tatlo kaming area sa Santa Maria, 2 sa Santa Maria at isa sa Bukawi. 8 na yung na-arrest pa namin.
After the explosions in illegal fireworks factory in Pulumbuhangin, Santa Maria, Bulacan, last November 3rd, 8 got injured. The crackdown of the police against hidden illegal fireworks factory operations continues. During the follow-up operations of the Bulacan Police, 3 more were closed and 8 were arrested. According to Bulacan Police Provincial Director, Police Colonel Rely Arnedo, the arrested individuals were caught making firecrackers illegally in residential areas. According to him, this is against the law and they no longer have a permit from the barangay and the Philippine National Police to stop illegal operations of firecrackers factories. The police appealed to all Bulacanos to keep an eye against illegal operators of fireworks factories and to report them to the nearest police stations.
Tuloy-tuloy yung namin, gagawin naming crackdown para maiwasan na yung mga pagsabog ng mga paputok. Sana po ipagbigay alam ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Bulacan. So far po yung legal ngayon na nasa 22 na po. Manufacturers po yan.
On the other hand, the Bulacan provincial government are already planning as well to conduct a surprise inspection not only in the factories but even in the fireworks stores as well. Aside from the permit, they will also look for the product safety or PS marking of each firecrackers being sold to make sure that it passes quality standards. They will also look for a fire extinguisher and bags and water supply in the stores that can be used to extinguish fires. Meanwhile, the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, also designated the local government and the Philippine National Police as well as the Bureau of Fire Protection to be restricted in keeping an eye out on the illegal sales of fireworks. Whoever caught acting against the law can be fined up to 20,000 pesos to 30,000 pesos. They can also be imprisoned up to 6 months to 1 year. The closed establishments will face business permit cancellations, while the legal firecrackers they are selling will be confiscated. And that's the latest news. Nestor Torres, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God. Back to you, William.
Yes, thank you, Nestor Torres, reporting live from Bulacan. A group of Transport Network Vehicle Service drivers is planning a national protest over Commission decree's increase of a ride-hailing company. JP Nunez tells us why.
Laban TNVS decided to conduct a national protest in different parts of the country to voice out their grief over fare commission increase of a ride-hailing company and the looming effect of petroleum price hike. The group's national president, June De Leon, is urging the Land Transportation, Franchising and Regulatory Board to step in on the 2% fare commission increase set to be implemented by Grab Philippines on December 1. According to De Leon, it would lessen the net income of TNVS drivers, especially in this time when price of gasoline products is still soaring.
Nanawagan tayo sa gobyerno dahil sa LTFRB na pakialaman na at ma-regulate na yung missions ng Transport Network Company para mag-proteksyon ng ating driver partners.
De Leon said they will be staging a random national protest in parts of Iloilo, Cagayan de Oro, Pampanga, and in the National Capital Region until December 15. The LTFRB said they may investigate the fare commissions of ride-hailing companies, but protesters need to submit their petition to serve as basis of the regulatory board.
We would want to receive yung mga petitions na like that, and so that we can already schedule a formal hearing for those kinds of situations. The fare setting naman is part of we will look into how it is, parang we need more information on how these are being done.
According to Laban TNVS, they have submitted petition to LTFRB last September. However, with the new chairman of the board, they may seem to file another petition. Meanwhile, Grab Philippines released a statement saying increase of their commission reached a full consensus from its driver community and their leaders. The new commission scheme is part of a reward program which introduces new mechanisms including new fare rebate program. The company said it is still open for dialogue and feedback for those who wants to clarify the new commission scheme. JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has declared the regular and special non-working holidays for the year 2023 in Proclamation Number 90 signed on November 11. This declaration amended the Proclamation Number 42 series of 2022 that was previously signed. It emphasized to enable Filipinos to enjoy the benefits of a long weekend that will help encourage domestic travel and to boost tourism expenditures in the country. In consideration of the Filipino tradition of visiting their relatives and spending time with their families, January 2nd was proclaimed an additional special non-working day since the New Year's Day falls on a Sunday, while April 10 of 2023 is the nearest Monday to Araw ng Kagitingan regular holiday on April 9. It may be declared as a non-working holiday provided that the historical significances of it will be maintained. The proclamation stated that the Bonifacio Day, which is observed as a regular holiday on November 30 of each year, falls on a Thursday for 2023. Pursuant to Republic Act Number 9492, November 27 of next year is the nearest Monday of November 30. It may be declared as a non-working holiday, while November 30 may be declared as a working day. Filipinos will enjoy 9 chances of long weekends next year based on Proclamation Number 90. Our kasangbahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the pandemic caused by coronavirus, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word giving glory to God from the book of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28 and 29. It says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls." And those are the reasons behind the news November 16, 2022. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.